I'm doing a review on waterfall faucets so you don't make the same mistake that I made and millions of other people have made. If you purchase a waterfall faucet, make sure that it is not square and leveled, because if it is leveled, you got water sitting. And when you got water sitting, after a while, it starts to mold up. It's installed for about 5 months and now I'm replacing them along with a lot of other people. If you go on Amazon or eBay and you're purchasing these, or maybe even in the big box stores, and that they are flush, you're gonna get mold. Let me show you the old one real quick, which that is one of the old ones right there, but underneath what you're getting hard water that, because it's flush, comes back and sits there. That stuff is so hard to clean up. And on the other faucet I had there, I cleaned the heck out of it, but it was like a moldy residue. And this is an upstairs bathroom, so sometimes I like to drink some of the water out of the faucet because I don't want to run all the way downstairs. And I was getting a moldy residue, and I thought it was my cup or something, but I replaced my cup every 2 days until I realized there was a slimy mold, grimy, disgusting mold sitting here. Also, these are made with plastic. The new ones that they're coming out with, they finally did something about it, which I just installed one. Can you see the slant here, the difference? Let me put them side by side so you guys can see what I'm talking about. They've re-engineered them. So it's a bad design. This one right here sits flush, and this one right here has a slight slant on it. That slight slant is gonna allow it to make the water not sit here as much as the other one did. I just installed this one. The other one would pull up and just sit there. Also on the inside, they've used a stainless steel grated mesh that the water comes out of, and the old one here had plastic, and the plastic tends to hold mold. Okay, also, this one has a little lip. The other ones don't, but like if you go on eBay and Amazon, look for that lip, because what that little bend right there does, if you can see what the heck I'm talking about, it's not only slanted, they've also like bent this part in, which is nice. So when I turn the water on, it comes in one direction. Look at the other one. And I've lowered my water pressure, but the other one's wide and it tends to splash. This is with lower water pressure. This one is not. I didn't have to adjust it or anything. I got it on full blast. So all your water comes in your hand where you want it, not all over your face and splashing all over. Really impressed with the new design. So they actually engineered it, tested it, where the old one, they just engineered it and then went ahead and sold it. Bad copy, but if you look on eBay, a bunch of people are selling their old ones because they found out that it molds, but which is pretty shitty because now they're dumping their problem on somebody else. I'm not gonna do that. Well, the one that I got, I was really impressed with. It was very hard for me to get way up under my sink down here. Let me show you guys how far this was. To get up in there and try to screw that, I couldn't really get up in there to make it really tight so this fixture would sit real nice and snug. Well, they came up with also a new engineering design here. Instead of this model here, you now stick this pole in there. So I was saying, you stick this pole in here first, and then when you put it up under the sink, this rubber clamp would go next, like that. And then this one would go on after. I got one hand here, guys, bear with me. This one would go under, this part would hold the sink snug up against the sink, if you guys are getting this. The rubber ring goes on the top side right here. That little rubber ring right here, that goes on the top. And then these two go underneath, so the sink piece would be my hand right here in between. And then you would screw this piece on, and what's nice is they gave you this type of tool, and you can just go underneath, and from a long distance, you can crank it up. And I'm pretty impressed with how solid this one has held on compared to that one where I couldn't really get up under there. And it was really tough for me to tighten that one. So that was really impressive. But the first things you do when you assemble one of these is put these two on first, and there's no need to crimp these things with your pliers. I would just use some thread tape. Hold on, let me show you. Okay, so you would get some thread tape like that. This is for the beginners who don't know how to plumb. Wrap it around 6 times, not on the rubber ring, but just around the metal. And if you have excess over here, don't block the hole, cut it off so it's flush. And then you would put these two in first into the 2 holes and just hand tighten as tough as you can because you're not going to be able to get up in there. Just do it as tough as you can. Do not put up pliers right here or here. That's not what it's made for. You will get a leak. Do not do that. Biggest mistake people make is try to get a pliers over there. If you can get your pliers around this piece, that's fine, but nothing past this part. You could hand tighten it. It will hold it as long as you loop this about 6 times with the thread tape. You will have no leakage. So the first thing you do is put these two on in there. Make sure that rubber ring stays up under here. I'm sorry, yeah, in between here, right here where you can see. So that's what that's for. And then go ahead and screw this on, you'll be all set. The end product should be this. I'll try to zoom in here. You got that on your hot and cold. And then up there you got that thing. I just left it on there, the one that you crank, just in case 10 years from now I need to unscrew this thing. That plastic tool will be snug up on there. So that's it. Hopefully this video helps you out. I'm choosing a good faucet. There is also other faucets being sold on Amazon and eBay that don't have this open spout and they're just straight and hollow on the inside. If your faucet is going straight, water will sit inside of there and it will mold. This is not the only design that molds up. So use your brain, use your common sense. If it doesn't have a slope from the time it exits the faucet, and comes out, and when you shut it off, if you think there's water that could be sitting there, don't purchase that faucet. They're making them without testing them, and that's why they're being sold to you just for quick profit. So make sure that you get one that was well designed. You got the slope and the slant. I don't know how hard I could specify that, but you will be replacing that faucet if you make that mistake. So number one thing, make sure you have a slope. So just like on a shower, you have a slope on your shower curb right here. Also inside your shower floor, it has a slope. So when water hits it, it has to drain down. If water sits there, it's probably not a good idea. So same concept, make sure you got a slope. Give me a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. Hopefully I saved you guys some time and money.